probably hear me now with the mic being on. As we look at the situation, we're seeing mostly heavier rainfall. I'm going to go ahead and start over due to the mic not being on there, but we're definitely dealing with this heavy rainfall, very slowly progressing southward across southeast Texas. So just keep that in mind that we're starting to see that flooding threat starting to increase for portions northern of near Spring, even Cypress, dealing with that torrential rainfall that is currently happening across the area. That severe thunderstorm warning for areas northeast of the city of Houston. But right now we're just continuing to track those storms as they're slowly moving southward right now. Along 290, Hempstead dealing with a lot of lightning, even Cypress dealing with showers, lots of heavy torrential downpours that are moving through, but we're able to see this now slowly moving into northern Harris County. A severe thunderstorm warning will be in effect until 7:45 a.m. That does include portions of Trinity County. I'm going to go ahead and zoom southward here as we look closer towards home. We're expecting lots of lightning ongoing with this storm that's in and around Cleveland, up to close to an inch of width of hail with that wind speed at 60 miles an hour. Lots of folks affected by this torrential rain that we've been seeing for the past several hours, especially to the north of the city of Houston. So as we look at those rainfall totals through the last several hours, we've seen close to radar indicated close to 8 to 10 inches of rain just along I-45, even 7.7 inches of rain, up to close to 8 inches of rain. This is very bad news because this area was dealing with the torrential flooding and the ongoing flooding within the past several hours. And unfortunately, all of that water has to drain somewhere, and it usually drains southward along those area streams and waterways. We are definitely tracking those flood gauges across southeast Texas and across Harris County as we head into the next few hours. So one important thing to note is the West Fork, or actually the East Fork of the San Jacinto River that is just to the north of Lake Houston. That is really causing some flooding ongoing. We're expecting it to last observed at 65.28 feet, is expected at 70.07 feet. And if you're able to see, the river runs just along near I-69, near the Grand Parkway. We are expecting lots of rain happening right now, so all that rain is going to be heading southward in the next several hours. Also, the Trinity River expected to be at major flood stage, is currently at major flood stage, but it's expecting to get worse as you're able to see some of those downpours north of Liberty. It is observed at 29.69 feet, expected at 31.2 feet as we head into the next several hours. We've seen radar indicated rainfall up to 1 to 2 inches of rain. So to wrap this all up, we're very slowly starting to see the southward progression of these storms that are now moving into Harris County. And we're going to have to keep an eye on that situation as we head into the next several hours. I believe this weather model, overdoing it just a little bit, but this is really kind of what's happening right now. We're able to see those storms that were flaring up around Brenham. Those storms are going to continue that southward movement as we head throughout the rest of the morning. And so we're going to continue to see these showers last through the early parts of our afternoon, but we're definitely expecting these disturbances that are going to continue through the next few days, as well as Friday morning. We very well could see more downpours occurring heading into Friday morning, but expecting this to continue with these disturbances lasting at least through the part of our weekend. We're going to see mostly isolated shower activity, but we're still not out of the woods yet. I know we've started off mostly quiet here across the city of Houston, but things are really kind of fluid in terms of what we're expecting, especially with the rain that's been falling for areas north of Huntsville, north of Conroe. But we are expecting those conditions to remain mostly quiet right now, but those storms very slowly moving through portions of northern Harris County as we head into the next several hours. So expecting those storms to start moving southward at least through the next few hours heading into this afternoon, and especially the early afternoon hours for the most part. So like I said, severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for portions of Liberty, Montgomery, Polk, and San Jacinto counties. We're still seeing some 60-mile-an-hour winds with these storms. Lots of folks affected, up to 18,000 folks affected with this severe thunderstorm warning that is to the northeast of the city of Houston. But now as we move southward, we're now starting to see that heavy rainfall now moving through the Tomball area. So you're able to see the southward progression of these storms that is now moving into northern Harris County as we go into the next few hours. Spring, even though it's quiet right now in and around the Spring area. So if you are having to travel along I-45 north, towards the woodlands, especially this morning. Just keep in mind torrential heavy rain that is falling right now, especially in the city, in the woodlands right now. And it's about to cross 45. Lots of rain with this system as it's now moving across 45, but a lot of folks who have to work in the woodlands, or if you're planning to travel northward, if you're having to use 45 moving towards the woodlands, a very strong storm moving through that area right now. Torrential rain. We're starting to see these storms now move southward. They were mainly in Montgomery County. Now they're expecting to move into northern Harris as we head into the next several hours. And these are some slow moving storms. So from Tomball, even near the Grand Parkway, if you have to take the Grand Parkway anywhere, that is really causing, you're able to see that heavy rain now starting for the Grand Parkway. So keep that in mind if you are taking off early this morning, or if you have to travel north of the city of Houston, especially north of the Beltway. We're actually able to see more of those showers and storms now along I-69, even Dogwood Acres north of Atascocita. So this rain we're not out of the woods yet. We are still expecting these storms to slowly start moving southward towards the city of Houston as we head into the next few hours. In terms of how far south they're going to move, it's a little bit questionable, a little bit uncertain of how far south these storms are going to move. But weather models are indicating that we very well could see this reach the northern parts of the city, at least through the early parts of the afternoon. So keep that in mind, that more so the storms that were causing that flooding just to the north, even around that was causing that flooding from Huntsville to Livingston, they're now slowly moving southward as we head throughout the rest of our morning. And of course, there's also even northeast of the city of Houston, severe thunderstorm warning. Liberty, Montgomery, Polk, San Jacinto counties under that severe thunderstorm warning at least until 7:45 this morning. 18,000 people affected by the storm as we're seeing some very gusty winds, some hail with this storms, as well as some flooding, especially with this. So we have a triple threat. We're not really seeing any terms of rotation at the current moment, but we're definitely expecting that. I'm going to go ahead and turn on a rotation here to see if we see any of that. Not really seeing much any terms of rotation. Right now we're just mostly seeing those straight line wind gusts, as well as that hail threat as we go into the next several hours for us here across the northern parts of our area. So to sum this all up, if you are watching, I know we started off this live stream with my mic not working. To sum it all up, we're now starting to see these storms starting to make its way into northern Harris County. Those severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for areas northeast of the city of Houston. That does include portions of Liberty, even San Jacinto, Polk, Montgomery counties. But just keep in mind that if you are having to travel north along 45 towards the woodlands, they're dealing with there's a strong storm right now that is causing some very heavy rain. I'm going to go ahead and look at some of the characteristics of this storm. We're just basically seeing wind gusts right now up to possibly 37, 40 miles an hour. So really not expecting terms of damaging winds. They haven't severe warned that storm that's moving through the woodlands, but there is a lot of lightning. It is very loud as we head throughout the next few hours. So expecting the southward progression of these storms as we go through the rest of our morning. And we very well could see some of these storms make their way into northern Harris counties. And as always, you can stay up to date with the latest weather updates on KHOU.com, as well as on the KHOU 11 app.